world, it is me, Suzie Toot, and welcome to the first installment of Tootober. Today, we are gonna do something long awaited and long requested, and we are finally giving you the official Suzie Toot makeup tutorial. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna do kind of what I've been up to the past couple months while touring and traveling the world as an internationally recognized entertainer, which is a play off of my Lollapalooza makeup. This is especially exciting, and the reason that I'm bringing this to you now is because the official Suzie Ween costume contest is upon us, and I want to give you the best tools possible to make your Suzie Toot cosplay as sickening as it can be. We're gonna get started, baby. Let's rock and roll. It really is such a crazy switch up of vibe once this comes on. I've already primed. Priming is good, and I do that now, so we should all be doing that. And I'm gonna start with foundation. When I do my sort of Suzie clown white face, I like to start by putting a layer of skin color foundation over the beard area. If you are someone who experiences beardage, when you do regular orange, the white doesn't quite cover it up. And I'm going to use this absolutely disgusting, my palette's disgusting. The actual palette is fabulous. She's a blush palette that I use every single time I get in drag. So shout out to you, Acacia Forgot, and Austie Cosmetics. It's iconic, get yourself one. And we are diving in, bitch. I'm so excited about this costume contest. This was something, you guys just started doing these really awesome recreations. I saw a sickening cosplay done by Mask, Emmylou Toot, and I was like, we should encourage this. We should get more of this going. And thus, the official Suzie Ween costume contest was born. Basically, you're gonna share them online, and we're gonna have a good ass time and declare winners and support each other and be kind and make art. And I think that's what Halloween is all about. And now I'm going to use my holy grail of all products at the moment, which is my Kimchi the Most Concealer. I don't know if there's like a specific solid white. The sort of the history of the Suzie Toot clown. There are pictures of me, I had just started doing it. Sorry, there's a hair in my way. Get out of there. Get out. I had just started doing it right before Drag Race, and it was kind of in response to my perception in the drag scene in Fort Lauderdale, and this is where my like stupid art shit really takes hold. There was a queen who I love so dearly, who after I won a lip sync competition, afterwards said to me, "It was so funny seeing you do Britney in your clown makeup." Looking back, it was clown makeup. I looked crazy, but I wasn't trying to do clown makeup. A couple months had passed, and I had a gig with a bunch of girls that I just thought were prettier and like better at drag makeup than I was. And so I was like, let's lean in and really have fun today. And it helped me feel more confident, was to come in like a cool, arty kind of clown look. Alibi Monkey Bar, shout out, Fort Lauderdale, with manners. And so I just started it before Drag Race, and was a big reason why I decided to, for the pink runway, go with a very direct clown reference. Not knowing that that was gonna rock the world, or at least the minds of 12 other drag entertainers who couldn't conceive of how ugly I looked in that outfit. And so that was my thinking going into the Lollapalooza. What the fuck am I gonna look like when I come back? Because the judges basically told me that my 1920s thing doesn't really work for me and isn't viable. I considered going full pop star, trying to fit the mold and the narrative that was being crafted, and that felt disingenuous and felt like very antithetical to the Suzie Toot idea. And then the mass lesbian panic of 2025 took place. Oh, we're killing this bitch. We're on it now. Like, I will do all this and then go over it again with this white, and it's even cleaner and more opaque. And then I go over the eyeshadow with it, and then I do the, so all the white that I'm gonna use in this is Kimchi the Most Concealer that is running out, and I will need to order like 7 of these before the Butt Tube King tour. I will use my Mehron cream stick in Monster Gray. It's very starter for like color foundation and stuff. There's probably other grays. I tried the Krylon. I'm sorry, the Krylon doesn't work for me. Monster Gray is a very cool gray. that I'm going to use to lay down. Actually, I just use the other side of the same beauty blender. I really pretend like I have no money. And it's really supposed to be kind of soft. When I first started doing drag makeup, I was very confused, especially like watching Trixie Mattel videos, and you see her go through like all this cream situation for the contour, just to then go over it with different powders, and like it looks unrecognizable. But once you get the swing of it, you can see where like it's about depth and it's about seeing. It just gives it a better finish and a better look if you really go through all the steps. For the cheek contour, I do like the, you know when you suck in your mouth and you can see like the, above that line, I put kind of a glob and focus deeper toward the bottom. The top is blended out more so, and then there is a soft, small blend on the bottom part. My nose contour I've been doing, a new version of the Suzie nose that kind of blends. I discovered this the day of the Emmys. I will contour in cream down the bridge and do like kind of coming to a point, and then stop at the bulb of the nose, because we're gonna do that in eyeshadow. Because what I used to do pre-Drag Race, my makeup really kind of was forming into its own right before Drag Race and on the way to somewhere when national attention was on my face. I wanted like a button nose Betty Boop look, and I didn't quite know how to get there, but I did something that was very kind of hard and choppy and I think a little cool. Post Drag Race, when I was like freaking out about my makeup and like how can I get better exponentially, I did a much simpler like 2 lines closed off at the bottom that was soft and looked nice. And then otherwise, yeah, just gray up the top and gray around the bottom. Nothing too crazy. We'll go back in with shadow. We're gonna powder the whole thing down and move on to the eyebrows. Ding! I now come from the Lydia B. Collins school of absolutely decimating your face with powder, because as an oily diva in my real life, I love drag makeup that is just like flat sheet of paper, matte. We are gonna brush away a little bit right here. This is the diva. Get yourself one of these divas. Ding! I can't tell you where it's from. It's probably not a nice brush company. If there were any markings, it's off now because I've had this since I started drag. And there is nothing better than a flat little diva. I've done this for a very long time. I learned this through a Crystal Method video, is to lay down the cream first, especially with my very thin brows. You're messing around less with the black, and you can just keep going and adding stuff and making them symmetrical before you even draw on the black of your brow. The placement of my eyebrows is kind of always in flux. I remember the fateful day right before the Tickle Pink clown runway. I was on stage and I was praised so fiercely for the placement of my makeup and how beautiful I looked in the quilted runway, because I had looked at Lana Geray and just copied where her eyebrows went. If I had my way, and thank God I didn't, my eyebrows would have been up to my hairline for that clown look. Sometimes I look at those eyebrows and I kind of think, wow, I struck gold right there. Why did I ever change? The beauty of drag is that you can just do whatever the hell you want, frankly. And so now we're gonna go with a slightly more Lollapalooza contour brow placement and still giving room for my fake eyelid. It's always been my dream to have makeup that is recognizable and that you could see it drawn on paper and be like, that's Suzie Toot. I mean, you don't get to where my face was at episode 1 without intentionally trying to be different so hard. I'm really so proud of where my face lives and that people can recreate it effectively. I've seen some really cool recreations from some very talented makeup artists in the Tutor community. And I hope that this video leads to many more. I also love under the comments of the Suzie Ween stuff, people like posting like memes of me in mini challenges, or a picture of me like mostly out of drag except for makeup. They're like, I'm doing this. I love the idea of doing the most obscure Suzie Toot cosplay possible. Now we are back with the brows, at least as even as I am willing to make them at the moment. It's just a lot of, like you could see, it's a lot of just going over them again and doing the other side, doing this side, and then I just like to pat it out with my fingers. And now we're ready to eyeliner with a tiny little brush that's already so covered in eyeliner. Jesus. No problem, Dan, anything for you. Oh, allow me to introduce you to my friend Dan behind the camera. Dan is my very best friend and an incredible filmmaker and a genius. He did Brother Can You Spare a Dime, my old Ellen Green video, the original Bone Coming. Our short film, La Dichotomy, is going to have its premiere October 12th at New Fest in New York City. So if you're a fan of experimental queer short films, check it out. And also we've submitted to a bunch more festivals and that whole journey. Needless to say, Dan is a close collaborator and a genius and a brilliant person. He helped put all this up. I did a little bit too. And TOOTOBER is a collaboration between Dan and I to bring all this shit to you. So he's cool. Welcome, Dan. So now we're gonna take eyeliner and a pot. It's just an Inglot black liner, but I'm certain there are better ones in the world. You take a deep breath and you pray before this part, and you just kind of go at it. Okay. I'm about to go on a 22-city tour, and I have one dried up pot of eyeliner to my name. Speaking of, the Butt Tootkin tour is already underway. I just found out that Fort Lauderdale is sold out, among many other cities, so, but get your ticket before they're gone, because there's only so many. There's also been a journey with my eyebrows of like, how arched are they? It kind of really does change every time. Right now I was on a very flat wave before, and now we just have a kind of like Claudette Colbert, and you just like follow the line that's already there. It's so easy and so fierce. There's definitely a difference in the arch of the brows. But if you want to do an authentic Suzie Toot look, that should be the case. The reason that we don't powder the white down here yet is because if we need to fix anything about our perfect eyebrow application, we can just cut in with a little bit of cream and smooth it out. And then you just blend her with your finger again, and you bring her down. And that's what it's like to be a makeup artist. Crystal Envy, eat your goddamn heart out.
Eat your heart out.
And now that the eyebrows are in an acceptable place, I'm going to powder the white and create a good base. And I'm using a Ben Nye white powder.
And a hot air balloon crash.
We are gonna hold true to the Lollapalooza look, and we're gonna do a blue shadow. But as you may know on tour, when I do this kind of rock and roll clown look, I'll do a gray shadow or a red shadow, but blue is when I'm really feeling fun and feeling the fantasy. Oh, and the blue I'm using, and this is, we have a star entering the frame, and this is Beauty Bay Bright Matte Palette. Press week of RuPaul's Drag Race season 17, I needed to do this blue shadow for my clown look for the premiere. The illustrious Corey King let me borrow this palette. This is the state the palette was given to me in. Let's all note the disgusting cracked mirror, ruined shadows, and if you'll notice, a special shadow right here in the center is completely destroyed, and that's because days before this was given to me, Corey King was dressed as the Grinch, and I guessed used this tiny eyeshadow for her entire face. So this is a historical object, and I also use it every single time I get in drag. Corey loves to spend money. And you can tell it's the Corey King blue, because it's that bright-ass blue shadow that she used every single day. And by every single day, I mean the episodes before she was eliminated. So not every single day. Dan, you didn't laugh at my joke.
I honestly did not hear it.
Okay, and then, so I like to do just a big swatch of the medium shadow that I use, like the medium color, and then I'll go in with a darker one, a little bit lower, and then blend out with the lightest color, if not just white. So you really only need one brush. When you're lazy and all of your brushes are dirty, there's a way through this. Fun variation if you would like. I don't think I'll do today. I will take the eyeshadow and go up to follow the like clown spike. But now we're gonna go back with Kimchi the Most and cut out our crease. So this is one of the biggest differences next to the eyebrows between my makeup through season 17 and the Lollapalooza onward. The shape of the eyeshadow, I looked at my makeup so much on screen and you can see where my real eyebrow crease is so visible and so ruins the illusion of this giant eyelid that I was painting. So now what I do is I live within my own means and paint the eyelid as big as I can while staying underneath my real eyebrow so that we do not interrupt the real life shadows that happen on my face when you view me from a third person perspective. And also I try to like make the peak of the eyelid in the very center of the eyeball, because mine used to be kind of forward, which was intentional. It was sort of, I was like looking at Liza Minnelli's face, and she has this, I mean, you can't be Liza Minnelli as much as you try. And believe me, I've tried. Clearly I have many thoughts about the evolution of the Suzie Toot makeup, and eventually I want to do a video where I recreate with better techniques the vision of my original makeup and sort of talk about the long history of where my mug has been and where it goes. Because it is, I think it's so interesting, and I find it interesting with any drag character, like how the mug evolves. And once you get to a place like Bianca and Trixie, and it's just such an iconic stamp that you really could not change. I am obviously not there yet. And I feel a big wave of crazy, fun, large makeup coming again in the near future. After that, I've got the Christmas tour. And I think I might want to swing the pendulum back over for that and do some softer, pretty showgirl makeup. And I think something I learned on set when I did the rocker look and the quilted look right after each other, I was shocked. Shocked that I could still see Suzie Toot underneath it. I was scared that I would look like a different person and it wouldn't work and I wouldn't be the Suzie character that I'd created. I think Crystal Envy actually said it aloud to me. She was like, you can still see the shapes in the Suzie Toot, it's just different. And that kind of freedom really does allow you to do better and change and grow your makeup. So yeah, after I usually go in with just some more concealer and use my finger to get the smoothest application over my eyelids possible. Because I'm a diva who struggles with the eyeshadow coming off and cracking and breaking with the movement of my pathetic little eyelids. Okay, so now we're gonna powder it with my white Bill Nye hot air balloon powder. Get your big nose out of this eyeball. Yeah. No one makes fun of my nose. If y'all haven't watched Futurama, get the fuck on it, it's so good. And I need Jinx Monsoon to bring back her Futurama recap podcast because I need to be on it. And now, I take a brush like this one. Oh, Anastasia Beverly Hills A27. I take black shadow from the same Bright Matte palette and I just go over the line of my shadow. And this is something I'm kind of doing by accident recently, is the highest point of my lid is over here, and I kind of fucked with it. So as we were getting ready for the Lollapalooza, I happened to be so incredibly busy, and at the busiest point of my Drag Race life, I was doing this cherry bomb number that the lesbians quite enjoy. That's when I tested out my red human hair shag mullet. How it feels, how to secure it, how to move with it, and whatever, and testing a version of this makeup. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna repost any pictures of it. It'll still be a surprise for like the Drag Race fandom at large when it happens on TV. The lesbians got a hold, and the cherry bomb wig, which is so funny that it became the cherry bomb wig before it ever became the Lollapalooza wig. There was fan art of this wig before I even stepped in front of the camera. And now we're gonna blend out that black with a little bit of gray. Actually, we're gonna go too much gray. We're gonna add some blue. Okay, and now we are going to do the eyeliner. Eyeliner is another journey that I went on post-Drag Race. I mean, every part of this was a journey. I am somebody, if you can tell, that has incredibly hooded eyelids. So if I were to draw a straight line, then I look forward and the line is super low and looks like nothing. A lot of girls will do like regular eyeliner and then they'll do like a fun little corner zag to sort of, when the eyes lift up, they match and it looks like a straight line, but then you look down and there's a cool little like bat wing effect. So what I've landed on is just doing a triangle. Is that an isosceles triangle? So first we fill in, then I'm gonna come up from like here There's still stuff going on in the inner corner, but enough happening out here to hide the fact that my eyes are still hooded. And I'm gonna add to the inner corner after we do the rest of the eye, so don't you fret. So we start kind of like right here with it. And when you're doing fake lashes, you gotta make sure you're doing eyeliner all the way down to the lash. Like liquid eyeliner is undoubtedly the scariest makeup tool. And what's great is that when I put lashes on, it gets covered. So we're just gonna pack some black shadow over it and blend it into and darken up. And that's her. And then sometimes another like variation is I'll go in a little fiercer with the black out here to extend the eye. But really with this tutorial, you can jump off and do any Suzie Toot makeup. I always do mascara here because I like to visualize the lash with the liner. Liner. Shiner? Not too fucking much. My Ellen Green impression is now for the privacy of my own home. So if you liked that impression on TV, I think it's the first video that we have up, so that's kind of fitting too. I use this little diva, the Jessup Eyeliner 209. I have no idea where this is from. And I'm just gonna go back in with the Kimchi The Most Concealer.
Yabby.
Hoogie. Oh, thank fucking God. Dan is a nightmare. If you need someone to do video editing, directing, filmmaking for you, don't hire this man. He is evil and he is not of God. So now we're gonna go in with an eyeliner and just do the bottom part. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for the Butt Tooting Tour, which as of this video coming out will be underway and already begun. But there's a lot of new costumes and new numbers and fun ideas and cool shit and stuff that I'm just so excited for you guys to see that we're working really hard on behind the scenes. We've really been working for months on making this show something cool, especially as like a big thank you. We open with an intro that was made by a fan in our fan video contest. If you submitted, you're amazing. I've watched all of them and some of them are so fucking funny. But yeah, there's the inner corner. Hey, hey. So yeah, I'm just gonna deepen up the eyes and we will be right back to do the rest of the face. That's what it is. So good. We're talking about the old YouTube, like if you ever looked up like top 10 scariest videos on the internet, lost media, nobody knows the origins of this video, and it's like that mannequin hand that's like, oh, Squidward suicide. That was the era. That was so good. Ben Drowned. That's the mother of them all. Or like people would like play Beyonce music backwards and be like, she's sending a hidden message. We took a break for a second and now we're lit. So now we're going to go over the contours with shadow. I'm using this stolen Corey King palette, this like warmish gray that's right here. The temperature of the grays is very important because cool gray is going to really give you that like deepening contouring effect. And it gives you the freedom to use a warmer gray as like a blush. So you have dimension in your face and you're not just like schlocking gray all over yourself. Like some queens do. So yeah, and then I'm just using a darker gray and going into the pocket of it. And you can see here, there's like the white of the eyeshadow base is a lot whiter than here, so we're gonna go back in with some white powders to even that ish up. So now I'm just going back in a little bit with some white powder, as I'm known to do. On the nose, we're gonna use a gray eyeshadow, the latest gray I have. Go over this, and then what I do is kind of round the nose, like coming up here, like slowly up to where the tip of my natural nose is. And instead of like doing a harsh line or going like straight up with it, I just sort of go around my bulbous little nose. And that is like where the best of both worlds kind of happens. And I'll go back over it with a white powder. I did it the best. Go back to my Emmys look. Put it up here, Dan. Because it really, I really enjoyed the way it came out. It's good to go back in with white every now and again when you're doing a white face. Because it can disappear or go away. That's the same as disappearing. Now here is a very, very fun part. We're going to go in with blush using, finally, the Acacia Regat and Aussie Cosmetics Rodeo Rouge palette. I like to take this pinky color up at the top. Does it have a name? It's called Oink. Piggy. And I kind of do, because it's the lightest pink, just go all over the cheek here. There was a point on set, we said Piggy so much. We thought Piggy was the funniest thing in the world, that the producers, before we walked into the workroom one day, said, hey guys, I think we're gonna put an end to the Piggy thing. It's done now, okay? I remember so vividly Crystal and Lana's lip sync against each other to Hands to Myself by Selena Gomez. Us in the back going, oink, 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 oink. I wonder, I don't know if you can hear it, but we were straight up oinking at them. And it was us being encouraging, but I don't know if that's entirely appropriate. So now we're gonna take this reddish color and go in to the deepest parts over the gray. I like to go over the whole thing with white powder again. It's our curse. It's the season 17 curse. We love a whole fucking lot of blush. Now, that looks a little crazy from the side, but we're gonna get there. It's gonna work out. I'm gonna take this little guy right here. I like to use this like darkest red to go over the black here. I remember feeling like I had struck gold with my opulent outerwear, and I had this whole like shadow under, the red shadow matching the blush under the eye thing. It was heavy-handed as hell and definitely needed to be improved upon, but I remember just being excited about it. I was like, oh, that's the direction we're going in. Get the blue out of here. I will take the white to just go in and define. And now we're gonna take this red color and just go over the nose right here. But when we're going clown, when the reference is clown, I love to do a pretty red nose up here, is I'll take a very pink shimmer shadow, little highlight color, and do a circle at the very top. And that gives it like a proper clown nose kind of look. And I like sometimes I'll add a little pop up here, but usually I like this to be the only kind of shiny part of my face. It's just a little like, bing, lip liner. Hello? Anastasia, is the color still on here? Blackberry lip liner. I'll take you a little step by step. I do the bow of my lip and then I extend her out. And I still don't quite, like I still like to see the little sliver of like the sort of Cupid doll shape. And that's the shape we're going for the top. And then the bottom lip, I kind of just follow my natural lip, but try to still emphasize the center as the largest part. And I'll just take my finger and blend. And then when I apply the lipstick, it's just already blended and looks smash. Let it be known that I'm not a professional makeup artist. I think by definition, maybe I am a professional makeup artist. However, I just do what works for me, and I'm on a journey, and I understand that. Keep on with your hate comments, because more comments is more comments and more engagement. But also, if you have a tip that might work for me and you want to share that, feel welcome to. I am no end-all be-all. And we're using a MAC lipstick in Red Rock. I like it because it's a little bit warm. And I'm just gonna go over. Ding! And then I just kind of go back in with the liner and define where I feel I need to. I really am a believer in lip liner, like a darker lip liner for drag lips, because you need to recreate the shape. If you use the same color lip liner, it just looks like you put lipstick over your face in a way that's unnatural and clearly overdrawing. And we're looking pretty fierce. So now we are going to add our little clown spikes, because I like to do it toward the end. I sort of do it as I'm waiting for lashes to dry. Back to this nasty old pot of black liner. And for the top, you just kind of gotta let it ride. There we go. That looks really cool. Oh. See, I just went in and retouched a couple of things, but we're basically there. This is the Lollapalooza makeup. I just gotta add lashes. My wig will be ready to fucking party. So I'll see you on the other side and show you how I go from this.
And the urge to not use that.
No, of course. Ba-ba! Here is the finished Lollapalooza look. My iconic headband that when I walked out, Michelle said, I didn't know Suzie was in the Bloods. But here it is. The Lollapalooza look. We have our iconic rhinestone diva. This was made by Casey Caldwell. Here we are. I threw some earrings on that are not original to the Lollapalooza look, but they could have been. And thank you for joining me. This is the beginning of TOOTOBER. I'm very excited about this series. I'm excited about what is to come. There's some very cool, very spooky, very neat things on the way. If you would like to join the Suzie Ween costume contest, your deadline is November 2nd. You need to post a picture, a video, a whatever of your Suzie Toot costume with the hashtag SuzieWeen. I will go through and pick 10 divas to display on my pages and post about and show off the top 10, and 3 of those divas will be declared winners, and they will get Suzie merch and a personalized video from me, Suzie Toot. All of this, everything about TOOTOBER is for you, the fans. So thank you so much for being you, the fans. And let's have a spooky, happy, motherfucking Halloween. And I'm gonna leave you with one more little thing. Take it away.